The views and opinions on this show do not necessarily reflect the views of ESPN Tucson 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, or the Arizona Lotus Corporation.
Welcome to Spears and Ali on ESPN Tucson.
Justin Spears, I like that.
With Justin Spears and Ali Farhang on 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, ESPN Tucson. Brought to you by Tucson Federal Credit Union, the Volpe team at Nova Home Loans, and Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
I want to be entertaining, but I'm not stupid enough to compare myself to Ali.
Happy Friday. Welcome to Spears and Ali here on ESPN Tucson, 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, streaming live on ESPNTucson.com and the ESPN Tucson mobile app. We are presented by the Volpe team at Nova Home Loans, Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, and Tucson Federal Credit Union. And Ali, for the first time ever, we have a guest joining us at the top of the show.
Hey, buddy, did you drive from Phoenix this morning, or were you here?
First of all,
Come on, you think he's going to show up
from Phoenix
for this?
No, I'm like 5 minutes up the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I wouldn't put it past you. You're like, hey, man, I'll be there. I can wake up at 4 a.m. and get ready.
For you guys, I would do anything, but I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Yeah. All right.
So Saul, you're
expectations lowered.
So Saul, you're here in Tucson, Arizona. I know this is, you live in Phoenix, but this city is very near and dear to your heart. How does it feel to be back in Tucson?
I mean, my in-laws live down here. I'm down here just about every other weekend. So, and then obviously, I lived here for several years, and Tucson's my favorite city.
Hell yeah.
Straight up, like it just is. And so I don't care what people say about Tucson. It's one of my favorites. So
hell yeah.
Well, whatever they say, I guess they're thinking about it because we never think of you. We're focused on what we're doing here.
Facts.
So
Facts.
And it is the best city.
Listen, I grew up in Phoenix, and I hate Phoenix. I just do. Like, it's just not. It's everything is cookie cutter. If you're not in Central Phoenix or West Phoenix, everything is just like every other block looks the same. There's no culture. There's no diversity. It's just bleh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You come down to Tucson, like everything looks different. And there's more of a scenic vibe to Tucson. And like if you don't know, then you better ask somebody.
Absolutely.
If I could kind of encapsulate it even more of what Saul's saying, and I don't mind Phoenix. Like I go up there for like a comedy show or something. I went to Amy Poehler, Tina Fey with my daughter. It's cool. If you're going to one place in Phoenix and you're not having to drive around a lot, fine. But it's so disconnected because of its size. And people, everybody in Tucson understands we're the biggest high school corridor as a city in the country. Like, it's like you're Kevin Bacon one step away from knowing somebody else.
Yeah.
And so we're much more connected community than Phoenix just because of the way we're constructed as a city and the size. So yeah. Tucson, yay.
Heck yeah.
Yay, Tucson. Let's go.
It's great, man.
Sure.
It's great.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking a lot of Arizona athletics throughout the show. Saul's going to be hanging out with us this hour. And then we're going to have our Freak Out Friday segment.
Yeah. And then I got to see if I can go. By the way, we should start keeping a record since I started last week and I gave the over on Golden State Houston. Farhang's Friday lines. So I'm 1-0, but I should be held accountable for what my record is. So I'm going to give you at the end of the show my bet of tonight or this weekend.
Farhang's Friday lines.
Yeah.
Some new that we're doing.
It doesn't roll off the tongue. I mean, I know our guy Tony gave us that, but there's something else there.
Farhang's parlays.
Farhang's finest.
The Farhang fix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Farhangin.
We'll workshop that. Farhangin.
Hanging far.
We'll workshop that. Cool. And then we're going to talk some Tucson Sugar Skulls with Krystal Pino. She's going to be joining us in studio. And then Arizona baseball head coach Chip Hale will be joining us at 8:40 to talk about Senior Day weekend, a big baseball series for the Arizona Wildcats.
He's going to use this Spears and Ali boost, right? Every time he's on, they go on a little run.
That's true.
The bats have been cold.
That's true.
He needs a little good Spears and Ali juju, and we're here to give it to him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, speaking of cold bats, it was a slow start for Arizona softball yesterday. They trailed 3-0, but they ended up beating UCF 5-4. Sydney Stewart and Dakota Kennedy got Arizona within striking distance, and then Devin Netz had a 2-run RBI single, and that put Arizona over UCF 5-4. And she also pitched too and got the win. So now she's 21-5 in the circle this season, and just won Big 12 Player of the Year. So great year for Devin Netz. So now that they beat UCF, they're going to play Iowa State in the semifinals game today at 3:30 on ESPN Plus.
All right.
Heck yeah. So Saul, I wanted to.
I'm a big Miranda Stoddard fan, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, she's awesome, man.
First team all Big 12.
This is
It's a good soft. I mean, I feel like
good year
we're
for Arizona softball.
Caitlin Lowe. There was that 1 year between her and Coach Candrea, and I really feel like the program is right back to what we're accustomed to, which is at elite level. And I think they could do some special things this year.
Absolutely, I agree.
How do you feel about the overall culture of Arizona athletics right now?
Well, I mean, based on winning, it's pretty good. I mean, I was saying the other day, like I can't remember another year where so many teams and so many athletes had such great years at the same time. Like it's been a while since we've had so much success on the field, and then you couple that with the tremendous success in the academic, realm. Like I think it's unprecedented what Arizona athletics has done this year. The only thing that's kind of missing was like that big national championship or that big run, so to speak, from either football or basketball. And hopefully either softball or baseball can do it and kind of make up for that. So, because those are the four kind of premier, sports at the U of A. Not to discredit anybody else, because tennis has been fantastic, golf has been fantastic, but, those are the most visible. And, if one of those four makes a run, then, you feel like you had a pretty good year.
I really feel like Clancy Shields and that men's tennis team, if we're building a pyramid of who could win a national championship this year, I put maybe tennis at the top of the pyramid.
Yeah.
And then the two under that is softball and maybe baseball.
Okay.
Women's golf?
Women's golf just lost
That's right.
in the regional. How's Jimbo Anderson doing? I haven't followed.
I think they're playing this weekend.
Yeah.
Actually.
They've got a chance too. But I think of all the teams, Clancy, I mean, we've got some, like you said, a lot of great stories, a lot of really good seasons, a lot of good, human interest stories. Clancy's got something special going on with that tennis team.
You know what's crazy is like when we were in school together, that program was not good at all.
Yeah.
It was at the bottom of the conference in the Pac-12. Like what he has done to kind of reimagine that program and renovate it has just been tremendous. Like
incredible.
Like kudos to him, because they've done great work.
When they got really good international talent too. I remember they had a guy from Sweden, Gustav Strom.
Yeah.
And he was like all Pac-12, this like superstar. And then they got Colton Smith, and lo and behold, this guy's like a freaking pro. Like when we had Clancy on the show 2 weeks ago, I think it was, he said, if it wasn't for college being in the way, this guy would legitimately be a top 50 player in the world. And like he was saying, as soon as this season ends, he's going to go across the pond and go play in the French Open. He's going to play in Wimbledon, and then he's going to play in the US Open this summer.
That's crazy.
So I'm like, holy cow, we got like this like superstar tennis player.
Yeah.
And I don't know when's the next time Arizona's ever going to get a talent like that. Like he is legitimately a generational talent in a legit pro. And he was here at Arizona.
As long as Clancy's heading the program, buddy, I don't think you're going to have to wait long, because he just keeps bringing on like high caliber, really good tennis players.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we get it in basketball, right? It's like I'm watching a future all-star, future NBA player. In football, we've had T-Mac. We've had a lot of good players. To have it in the other sports, but tennis in particular is unique. We've never had someone of this caliber, but I don't think we're going to have to wait long for the next Colton Smith.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of basketball, there's been so much talk around Carter Bryant and kind of if he's going to come back or is he going to keep his name in the NBA draft. And so I think 2 weeks ago, I thought Carter Bryant's coming back. He's definitely going to come back. But then there was something in the back of my mind that was like, he's a really good dude. Like he's an awesome guy, great teammate. The fact that he's a McDonald's All-American, the superstar freshman, and came off the bench and did great in that role, I think it shows a lot about him. And an NBA team probably looks at that and is like, okay, no matter if he's a starter, no matter if he comes off the bench, we know he's going to perform at a high level. And I just feared that teams were going to end up falling in love with him. And sure enough, they are. And now it looks like Carter Bryant's probably going to go to the NBA.
Yeah, that was kind of my hunch. And I think it's kind of what you alluded to. It's not just because of, his talent, because I think he still has a lot of work to do on understanding the nuance of how to be a professional basketball player, let alone a college basketball player. And you saw that development throughout this year. But I think more than anything, if you just talk to Carter Bryant and then you talk to other athletes, he separates himself that way because he is just so intelligent. He's very thoughtful. He gives great answers. He's in the moment. Like, he doesn't feel like, the moment is bigger than him.
Yeah.
And so when he's going through that interview process, I have no doubt that he's giving like just the greatest answers possible. And NBA teams are definitely going to leave and they're going to be like, wow, I'm very impressed with that guy. And then you add the athleticism and the talent, and then you're like, it's worth the risk to try and take a gamble on somebody like that because you feel like, he's emotionally intelligent enough to be able to handle the jump to the NBA and not let it overwhelm him. And I think that's the only concern I have about Carter Bryant is, it looked like at times this year, at the beginning of the year, he was a little overwhelmed on the court and he would get lost from time to time, especially on the defensive end. But that improved as the year went along. And as that improved, you saw the confidence improve. And now he puts himself in a position where he's going to be a possible lottery pick in a lot of mock drafts. And I've always said, if it's a lottery pick, you got to go. You don't even hesitate. You don't even think about it. But if you're not a lottery pick, then you put yourself in that dangerous position to where a team can pay you a salary, but they're not committed to you to the level that they would be if you were a lottery pick by investing all the resources possible to make sure that lottery pick hits.
Yeah.
And that's a key difference there.
Well, lotteries 1 through 14.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say there's a team that's sitting at 20, 22.
Don't go.
Don't go?
Don't go. Don't go. I think you have a way better chance of developing to be a better pro and position yourself as a lottery pick next year if you stay at the University of Arizona, if you're Carter Bryant, if you know that you're not going to be a top 14 pick, in my opinion. I've seen it too many times.
And, if I would take two other things in consideration. Everything you said, Saul, 1,000% correct. But he was a little bit discombobulated at the beginning of the year in that transition to college. And then do you want to do that the next year going to the NBA? And then the other thing you got to kind of consider is, Stanley Johnson to me is one of the most physically talented basketball players Arizona's ever had. Pick number 5 by the Detroit Pistons in the draft. And where you go matters. It does. Can Carter Bryant, whether it's lottery or if it's first round somewhere else, can he develop and be content knowing that you're not going to get on the court that often because his game is not ready for the NBA.
No,
it's just not. So you may be sitting on the bench for a year or two. I know you're getting closer to that second contract. So what gives you the better roadmap to getting that second contract and being ready for the NBA? And to me, just my opinion, another year at U of A and developing his game, maturing as a person in every single way, I think would be to his benefit to having a long-term career in the NBA, not just being in the NBA.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I think the other aspect of this is like, I think on Monday when the draft lottery happens, you're going to kind of have a better idea of where Carter Bryant could possibly go. Because let's just say a team like Houston is near that bottom 10. I mean, that's a team that I could see taking a flyer on Carter Bryant because, they're positioned right now to win anyway. If they take Carter Bryant, could he contribute? Sure. But you can also develop him for, after the fact. And I'd be okay with that if I was Carter Bryant. Like, okay, that's worth the risk. I'm willing to jump in and go to a team like that, a franchise like that, because it's positioned to be successful. If let's just say it was like a team like the Wizards, yeah, you're going to play a lot, but is that really going to help you in that franchise, that program? No.
But you're not going to get any shots up because they got Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
In a team like the Rockets, I mean, don't they have a similar player in Jabari Smith, right?
Jabari's a little bit more lengthy. Defensively, he's much more adept, but I think when you're looking at the league and even what Tommy's trying to build right now, you need as much versatility on the wing as possible. You need guys 2 through 4 basically to be able to guard any position possible.
Yeah.
And so I think this era, I kind of got into this argument a little bit about, it was like Richard Jefferson, or no, I'm sorry, not Richard Jefferson, whether or not Michael Dickerson was a 2 or a 3 in college. I was just like, to me, him and Miles Simon were kind of interchangeable. They could both carry the scoring load. They could both defend multiple positions. Like the fact that you want to hone in on like Miles Simon being a 2 and a Michael Dickerson only being a 3 at the U of A just means you don't know ball. Like, and so that to me, those guys were so versatile. That's what you need. And that's what Tommy's trying to build right now. He needs as much wing versatility as possible, because in the college game, the NBA game, it's just too difficult to just be like, oh, well, you're only a 4 and you can only guard this kind of guy because X, Y, and Z. Like, that's just old school basketball, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. Like nose guards in pro football, it just they're like non-existent because you're switching everything.
Yeah,
right. And the best teams are hunting the worst defensive player. So, and you see it in the NBA Finals, man. You see all this screens and trying to hunt the weakest defender. You're going to have to be versatile so that your guard at times is going to have to be able to stand up to the center on the other team. And Carter Bryant can do that. He can guard 1 through 5.
Yeah.
So I just think, I mean, I'm not being selfish as an Arizona fan wanting him back. I'm just trying to think like long-term for Carter Bryant. And to me, it's just, I don't see, I mean, like a team like Houston, they already got like 8 guys on that team that think that they should be the number 1 guy. Like I would hate Carter Bryant to be there of all teams, actually.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, Saul.
But it's okay because they're going to trade for Kevin Durant and give away a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, would Carter Bryant be one of those pieces?
Carter Bryant to the Suns. How about that?
Hey, I'd sign up for that all day.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All of a sudden, Saul's like, no, he's ready. He's ready for the NBA.
You got to make the jump, man.
You got to make the jump.
All right. So, we were talking about Arizona basketball, Carter Bryant's big decision. Should he stay? Should he go? I mean, if this was a few years ago, I don't even think we'd be having this conversation. Like Carter Bryant would for sure be an NBA player, right? But NIL revenue share that's coming up here. Like if Carter Bryant does come back, I mean, there's a good chance he's the highest paid player on Arizona's roster, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah. I mean, and like you said, we've seen it before. It's funny you brought up Stanley Johnson too, because Stanley Johnson to me was kind of like that epitome. He's kind of the iconic Sean Miller recruit, the type of player that was kind of in between positions. Didn't have what, like I've always said, you need to have at least one discernible skill set that is undeniable NBA ready on day one. Does Carter Bryant have that? Not right now. He doesn't. You know what I mean? Raleigh Alkins did not have that one thing, right?
Yeah.
Trier had it in terms of scoring, shooting, but that barely got him a 2-year, $7 million contract. And the second part of that, or that second year of that contract, he was, jettisoned to the G League. Yeah. And that's where he's been the entire time. So, and Stanley Johnson didn't have that one discernible skill that you could point to. He wasn't a tremendous defender. He couldn't shoot at a high level. He wasn't a scorer at a high level. Like, what did he do? And so when you put a guy like that in the draft, you're really taking a big gamble that he's going to develop something that you can rely on consistently.
And that's the one thing about revenue share, which I think is the really good aspect, is these guys don't have to think about, well, I can stay at college or I can make the money. You can still make some money and then really focus on what's best for you as a player, not just what your family needs and not just the economic impact of being an NBA player. So I think it's very liberating that what revenue share has brought to college athletes. Well,
in the NBA draft pool, the entry list, it was the lowest in 10 years. It was like 106, and the highest it's ever been was 335. That's all NIL rev share, man.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's take a quick break, but we're going to talk about the Pope. We have a new Pope, and he's not only American, but this guy is from Chicago.
I've got the intro.
There is a non-zero chance this man has rooted for the Chicago Bears. He's definitely a Chicago White Sox fan. We'll talk about the new Pope. We'll also talk about NBA playoffs with our guy, Saul Bookman, coming up next.
An alien invasion would bring everybody together?
That's the only thing I can think of.
Half the country wouldn't even believe that they're real, even if they were right in front of their face.
It's AI.
I guess.
It's all AI.
That's computer generated. That's good. You almost got me. Shut the door.
But here's the thing. Those people would get immediately vaporized, and we get rid of a large segment of our population that maybe, just maybe, would we be a better country? Anyway, I'm not saying which part.
It's just, I don't know why it reminds me of Bill Burr's bit on cruises. Go look it up. It's a good one. But we got a new Pope, guys. Pope Leo the 14th, and he is a Chicago native, and he went to Villanova University. He's a graduate of Villanova. which totally explains why the New York Knicks are playing their asses off right now and why they're up 2-0 in this series. And no joke, guys, I placed a bet on the New York Knicks to win the NBA championship.
Oh, whoa.
After they're up 2-0.
Whoa.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
Daredevil.
daredevil.
But as soon as the white smoke
Yeah.
came out of the conclave, I was like, all right, we got our new Pope. He's American. He's from Villanova. Give me the Villanova Knicks to win the NBA championship.
So every guy that I know, I had some buddies in law school that went to Villanova, and then they had their friends visit. Where'd you go to school? The answer was like, I want the Nova. You think Pope Leo's like, I want the Nova.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you pointed this out, Ollie, that he was 30 years old in 1985 when the Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl.
Living in Chicago. He's probably seen the Super Bowl shuffle.
Oh, totally.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, 1,000,000%. He has that on repeat.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And
He's
the other
probably
thing,
got on repeat in the Vatican.
the other thing I saw was did you see, you guys know how insane of a Steelers fan I am, right?
Yeah.
You guys know.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the guy in the crowd when they were introducing the Pope for the first time, waving the terrible towel at the Vatican?
No way.
No.
Of course. Of course.
Oh,
Of course.
my goodness. I'm sure the Malort was going down pretty smooth
Yeah.
last night.
I don't know if it's
Ollie
gonna.
doesn't even know what Malort is.
I have no idea what
so
Malort
here,
is.
I wanted to bring that up for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's some of their marketing, just so you know. All right. Malort, tonight's the night you're gonna fight your dad. Another one. Malort, when you need to unfriend someone in person. Malort, I'm not getting my security deposit back. And then the last one, Malort, these pants aren't going to blank themselves. It's a drink in Chicago that's very popular, but it's also hilariously disgusting.
Yeah,
It's just not good.
that's great. It makes me want to, even though you said it's disgusting, all the little things. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to try
Oh,
Malort.
yeah. The branding is fantastic.
Yeah.
And this guy, the new Pope, he's apparently a Chicago White Sox fan. So he's a South Sider.
Yeah. So
And
So he understands
the
Super
Lord
Bowl.
can only do so many things.
well, and this guy, Adam, the sports fan on Twitter, said, witnessed a 41-121 season and still believes in God. I have to respect it.
Yeah.
So you like lists, right?
Totally.
All right. Big East, one Pope. Every other conference, 0.
Zero.
Yeah,
True.
there you go.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and there's a non-zero chance this guy has cussed at Charles Barkley when watching the 1993 NBA Finals. He's watched the Bulls
I would
dynasty.
think more likely he's cussed at the Detroit Pistons. and
Oh,
said
Isaiah Thomas?
Said
Yeah.
something very negative about Bill Laimbeer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely the Pistons.
Absolutely.
I mean, listen, they were never really in trouble against the Suns, so why would you be mad at Barkley?
True.
It is what it is.
Yeah. It's like those Detroit Pistons. They are from devil. Bad boys. They say right there, evil. Good Chicago Bulls.
Do you think?
I don't know why he would have an accent because he's from Chicago.
I was like, this is right now.
Do you guys think he's had more hot dogs than all the other popes combined? That's right.
Wow.
Where does your head go?
I'm
I don't
just
know.
thinking. I'm just thinking. Just thinking.
Yeah.
Chicago style hot dogs.
So probably more sausages.
All right, let's talk about the NBA playoffs.
Pabst
So
Blue Ribbon.
Pabst Blue
Is he the only
PBR?
Pope ever to have a PBR?
Totally.
Pope's Blue Ribbon.
Pope's Blue Ribbon. All right, so we got some NBA playoffs tonight. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Indiana Pacers and Oklahoma City against Denver. I think OKC in Denver, I think that's going 7 games. I think OKC is actually going to steal tonight's game against the Nuggets. What about you, Saul?
The Nuggets got no chance.
No?
The Nuggets got no. It's over. The OKC is going to run off 4 in a row. It's 5. Hey, good job getting game 1. It was a fluke, and it's never going to happen again.
Damn.
Is that the bet of the night, you think? What's the spread on
1,000,000%.
that game?
I don't know, but it needs to be more than 10.
More than 10.
Yeah,
huh?
the Nuggets, they just can't match up with OKC when they're clicking, and I feel like OKC is just too good all the way around.
And I just thought OKC in that first game with Jokic going for 42 and 22. The end game situational basketball was so
terrible.
stupid. You know, like it's okay, we're up 3. We're going to do the foul game. usually you wait for the team to like dribble and take a couple of seconds off. They were fouling right away. But what was most egregious is OKC was up 2. There was 16 seconds to go. And the best player in the NBA was standing on the bench.
Yeah.
And they fouled right away and got him back in the game.
Yep.
Incredible.
Yeah.
But
you're talking about tonight.
dude, Thunder -5.5. That might be my bet of the night.
Yeah. You're talking about 2 teams tonight that were egregious in different ways, situationally down the stretch of round 2 games, right? Cleveland, who just apparently fundamentally forgot how to box out. And then OKC, obviously, who fell apart with their terrible strategy down the stretch against the Denver Nuggets. And then tomorrow you'll see another team that has just been an absolute disaster in the Boston Celtics, who apparently don't even understand the concept of a 2-point field goal whatsoever. So
Jason Tatum, if you're a hater of Jason Tatum, are you just like eating this up like Justin eats lunch?
They're outside. They're outside like Andy Dufresne in the rain. Just that's all. Like they love every moment of this.
Buddy, that's Shawshank Redemption.
Great movie.
Great job by you, Sal.
So I think the Celtics, I wanted to talk about them because I don't think I've ever seen a championship team look so just scared in the big moment, especially a superstar like Jason Tatum. And now Steve Kerr looks like a genius benching him in the Olympics. What did Steve Kerr know? Steve Kerr knew something.
Well, I mean, what did your eyes see? He couldn't make a jump shot.
Couldn't make a jump shot,
and
froze in the big moment.
Yeah, I mean,
but
was Boston challenged last year? I mean, Indiana.
They weren't.
I mean, were they challenged to win an NBA championship?
No.
Now they're getting challenged, and it feels like this is the first time they've. Is there a stat for teams that have had more 20-point leads in games in a season and lost the game? Because I feel like the Celtics have done it over 10 times this year.
Yeah,
I mean, shoot, they definitely did in the first 2 games.
But that's what happens when you live and die by the 3.
And that's all coaching, right? That's all Joe Mazzulla.
It's all Joe Mazzulla. And listen, as much as I want to bag on Jason Tatum, like other guys had their opportunities too. Like Derek White had so many wide open threes that he just did not connect on. Like somebody has got to hit a shot. And then somebody else has also got to step up and like, listen, guys, we have just missed our last 15 threes in a row. Take that ball to the damn rim. Yeah. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah. You know, and that's, to me, that is absolutely coaching. But again, like if you're a coach in that situation, do you waver? You know, this is our identity. This is what we've been doing all. If you try to change it up right now, then you probably invoke a little bit more fear into your players because they're like, oh, wait, are you not sure what we're doing? Yeah. Like, are you not sure that this is going to work? So he just stuck to his guns. But man, those guns, they had blanks in them.
Yeah.
This is a really good point. Saul, do you guys, Justin, do you know how much it costs to get in the building at Madison Square Garden on Saturday?
Over 700.
Not on the floor, not great seats.
So you're up there.
Yeah.
In 700 in the bleeders. I think it's in the 700 range.
It's $2,000.
Yeah. It's gotta be
$2,000.
Just sit in the nosebleeds.
Yeah. Dude, that ticket is so hot right now. I wish I could fly to New York and be in the garden.
Oh man.
I bet it's so electric.
Biggest game in Madison Square Garden for the Knicks since what, 99 finals?
I don't even think the finals even counts.
Yeah.
Not in this moment. Not against the Celtics. You know, you were on the verge of the Eastern Conference Finals. If you win this game, it's basically over.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be electric.
And we were talking about on the show yesterday that I don't think people are ready for the possibility of the New York Knicks to win a championship. Because while the Yankees are the traditional almighty power in the hierarchy, in terms of, I guess, the care factor, people would go nuts in New York if the Knicks won a championship. Like New York might actually might burn down.
I would say that the Yankees feel like a birthright. Like you're guaranteed to have success, so you're just used to it, and it's like, you know, we're the Yankees, we're going to win championships, and blah blah blah. The Knicks have been so, you know, bad and so futile, and they've only had sparingly had opportunities that, in New York, especially considering the basketball history of New York, like that is by far the team in New York. When they're hot, everybody is on fire. So I would agree with that.
Be nothing like a championship parade in New York, though, man. It would be pretty incredible,
spectacular.
Yeah.
And do you think certain NBA GMs are kicking themselves because they're like, "Damn it, we had Jalen Brunson on our team. Damn it, we had Mikal Bridges on our team." Like all these guys that are, I guess, newcomers over the last couple of years for the New York Knicks are making a big difference for them.
I don't know about Mikal Bridges because, I mean, the Nets let him go, but they got 5 draft picks for him. I mean, listen, the Nets literally got 9 draft picks from Kevin Durant, the Kevin Durant trade, and all, which got him Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
And then trading Mikal Bridges. Like, the Nets are good. They're fine. They're kind of trying to do what OKC's doing. And then you look at Jalen Brunson. I don't think anybody thought Jalen Brunson is going to be what he is right now.
No.
Not a single person in this world.
Yeah.
Not any GM, not even fellow teammates or players. They knew he was a good player, but this kind of good?
Yeah.
Nobody thought that.
When you see him, I saw him in Abu Dhabi because I was there for the UVA basketball team, and Team USA was there, and he was sitting in the pool. And I'm like,
Man, nice flex.
yeah.
Abu
He's like,
Dhabi.
Yeah, but Abu Dhabi with the UVA basketball
Jalen
team.
Brunson and the U of A basketball team. We just happened to be there.
You know why the people in Dubai don't like the Flintstones? Because the people in Abu Dhabi do. But I think that I saw him and I'm like, man, you are so small. Like,
What said that to him?
No. I was thinking in my head.
Oh.
No, I said, hi, Jalen. Love your game. He's like, thanks, man. And then I was thinking, man, you're so small. But for his size, what he can do is pretty damn incredible.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Like when they beat the Suns in that 7th game when he was with the Mavs, you saw a little glimpse of it. But again, nobody thought it was going to be like this. Nobody.
All right, we got our guy Saul Bookman from AllCity Network and PHNX joining Spears and Ali in studio. We're going to talk more NBA basketball coming up next. Stay tuned. Blue Moon presents the 17th annual Meet the Chefs event on Sunday, May 18th at the Desert Diamond Casino's Sahuarita Diamond Center. It's all going down from 3 p.m. until 5 p.m. You can enjoy an afternoon of food tastings and beer samplings, and all the samples are prepared that day by the chefs who are trying to get into that Iron Chef Tucson competition. Get your information and your tickets by going to ironcheftucson.com. All of this brought to you in part by Whiskey Del Bach and Peroni. So, Spears and Ali, we are joined by Marcos Deniza, alumnus Saul Bookman, who's also from AllCity Network and PHNX. So, you're a famous Marcos Deniza alum. Who are some other guys on that list?
I mean, there's a couple. I was just telling you guys off air about Nori Yamamoto, who fought in the UFC, and he was like a 4-time state champion in wrestling.
Dutch Romanian.
Yeah,
another of the long line of fighters from Netherlands that are Yamamoto's. Go ahead.
But the most famous is probably Columbus Short.
Okay.
He's the star of Stomp the Yard. He's been in, I think, CSI and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Who told you that?
Richard Jefferson actually told me that. I didn't know it was like Columbus Short was in the class behind me. I didn't know that. I had never seen him on campus, and so he graduated in '98. I graduated in '97, and when I was in the military and I was stationed in San Antonio, I went to the movies one night, and I see Richard Jefferson at the counter, and I played against Richard Jefferson in high school, and so I go over there. I'm like, RJ, and he looks at me. He's like, "What's up, Marcos?" And at first I was like, "I don't know how you remember I went to Marcos Deniza," and then he goes, "You know who I just ran into in LA?" And I was like, "Who?" He's like, "Columbus Short." I was like, "Oh, that's cool." He's like, "You know where he went to school?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Marcos Deniza." I was like, "No, he didn't."
Mm-hmm.
And I looked it up, and sure enough, he went to Marcos Deniza. I had no idea.
Wow.
Yeah. So Richard Jefferson, breaking news.
Come to find out, Saul used to give him swirlies back in the day.
No. Have you seen Columbus Short? That dude was jacked.
The question that needs to be asked is how many points did Jefferson put on you?
RJ actually, okay, so we faced each other I think twice. Once when he played for a club, once in high school. In high school, he scored 3 points total.
Wow.
And it was only to send the game into overtime. Didn't do a damn thing the whole game. Hits a 3 to send it to overtime and starts just talking all types of trash.
That's all.
And we ended up beating him and Moon Valley by like 15 in overtime. So like, come on, get out of here, RJ. But then we played against him when he was with the Arizona Stars, and I was playing for the Arizona Heat at the time. And yeah, it didn't go so well. Like he basically dominated us. So.
Yeah, it's not going to stop me from calling you Lockdown from now on.
Oh,
Lockdown Bookman.
Oh yeah. I didn't guard him at all, but yeah, we can say that.
That's fine.
Speaking of Richard Jefferson, and just reminding me of, I always love whenever like him and Gilbert Arenas get together and podcast and just talk, because they always talk smack to each other. But
even the shade in the documentary was funny.
Oh, it's amazing, right? Like the new Gilbert Arenas documentary, and we had Kalen Jones on earlier in the week. He's one of the associate producers, and he's the one who came up with the title Shooting Guards. So kudos to Kalen for that. But yeah, when Gilbert was like, "Oh yeah, man, I'm going to be one of the first Wildcats picked up,"
and then best player on our team,
and then Richard Jefferson goes before him, and he's like, not happy for his teammate. He's like, "Wait, how did he get picked before me? What the hell's going on here?" But the constant back and forth, like whenever they talk about the national championship, and RJ's like, "Oh, I had defense responsibilities," and Gil's like, "No, you had defense responsibilities to Mike Dunleavy. It's not even the same." But I wanted to ask you about the Gilbert Arenas documentary, and what did you think about that?
It was good. It was good. It's sad, really sad.
Yeah,
I think obviously at the end you can tell that Gil kind of wears that one a little bit, just because of he understood that like his immaturity led to somebody else's career kind of going off the rails. And like the direct impact when you think you're being funny and you don't realize that there's a line or a tone that if you cross, you should back off a little bit. And I think we've all been around people like that just don't understand. Like they just want to pick, poke. And you either want to fight them or you have to walk away.
Yeah.
And obviously Gilbert, my wife was sitting there next to me and she was like, "Oh my gosh, if you would have been around Gilbert Arenas, like he's like your worst nightmare." I was like, "Oh yeah, 1,000,000%. I don't like that kind of stuff, that style." And so, but I know a lot of people get a kick out of it. And yeah, it was just really unfortunate what happens to it.
I mean, he looked at the pranking as like, "Oh, this is team bonding.
Yeah.
This is my way of connecting with people." And I'm like he would tell me, like when he came on our podcast like 6 months ago, he was saying that like, "Oh yeah, we were staying at a hotel and I love pranking Eugene Eggerson. And I saw a koi pond. So I just picked up a koi fish and went to Eugene Eggerson's door, put the koi fish like right in front of the door, knocked on the door and ran away." And it's like, that's Gene's problem. He's got to deal with that. And it's just like, I'm like, I don't see how that's bonding.
Yeah.
If somebody did that to me, I'd be pissed.
That's just not my style.
You're not flushing that koi fish down the toilet.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so it's like, what do you do?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of fraternity brothers of mine listening right now going, "Ollie, that was you." Right? Right? I'm in the bathroom.
Why does that not
pour a bucket of water. If you got a bucket of water poured on your head and then you come out, who did that? And then a bunch of baby powder thrown on you. I may have been responsible for that.
But another kind of eye-opening thing that Gilbert talked about was, he felt like his suspension was because of how many guns he acquired. And the NBA found out that, your gun collection of 460 guns, a lot of them you got because you were playing against the Phoenix Suns and you decided to go buy a bunch of guns, put them in a duffel bag. And then when you guys returned home, because there's no TSA for an NBA plane, you just bring it right on a plane and bring it back home.
Yeah.
And the NBA found out about that and was like, "Yeah, you're trafficking weapons using NBA vehicles." Yeah,
Does the defense, but it was a charter. That doesn't work. It was a charter plane, man. You can't do that.
That's crazy.
You can't do that.
When I heard that, I was just like, "My gosh, this guy." It's just wild. It's just wild what sometimes you find out what athletes were able to get away with. And, not that was like, listen, if you collect guns, I don't care. Like if you want to me, when you say trafficking, there's this kind of inclination that you're selling them or you're giving them to people that would otherwise not be able to get them. So it's the correct term, but it's like there's some nuance to that.
Yeah.
And so I don't
smuggling.
I don't view
smuggling guns.
I don't view him as a smuggler or anything like that. But yeah, the fact that he was like, "Yeah, Arizona doesn't care. Yeah, you just go walk into the store, buy a gun, and walk out." It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Gilbert Arenas,
get a gun.
Washington Wizard, Golden State Warrior, gun runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people forget, man, he was like a top 3 highest paid player when he was with the Magic.
Yeah.
He was signed with the Orlando Magic and was getting like over $20 million a year.
The fact that Magic signed him is just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just a waste of money.
Yeah.
You just do a physical, you would have known his knee was not where it needed to be.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right, coming up next on Spears and Ali, we're going to wrap up hour number 1 We got our Freak Out Friday segment. We're going to talk about things that are just completely eye-opening. Stay tuned. You're listening to Spears and Ali right here on ESPN Radio. Welcome back to Spears and Ali on ESPN Tucson, 1490 AM, and the Spears and Ali podcast. Also, Spears and Ali YouTube. Subscribe to the Spears and Ali YouTube channel today. We've got our guy Saul Bookman joining us in studio. Saul's from AllCity Network and also PHNX, and Saul's joining us in hour number 1. And every single Friday, we always end the first hour with a Freak Out Friday segment. Something that is just like so crazy that we have to talk about it, whether it's good or bad. And, you know, I was going to talk about Ali. I don't know if you saw this, but there's a Colorado fan out there that is actually suing the NFL for $100 million for the emotional well-being of this Colorado fan after Shedeur Sanders fell in the draft. In the lawsuit, John Doe says he's a diehard fan of the Colorado Buffaloes and that he followed closely. He followed Sanders closely over the last 2 seasons.
Did he put his name as John Doe?
I mean,
you won't even use his real name?
Yeah, it's John Doe in the case.
AKA Deion Sanders?
Yes. I was going to guess Mel Kiper Jr. It caused him emotional distress.
You think Mel Kiper was really upset that Shedeur didn't get picked to be the Pope?
100%. 100%. But yeah, in this lawsuit, the fan asked, in addition to $100 million, he also wants a formal acknowledgement from the NFL regarding the emotional distress caused by their actions and statements, a retraction of the slanderous statements made about Shedeur Sanders, along with an apology for any harm caused to his reputation, implementation of fairer practices in the drafting process to ensure that talented players are recognized and given opportunities based on merit, and then lastly, any additional remedies the court deems appropriate, including compensatory damages.
Compensatory
damages.
Compensatory.
Yeah.
You put the wrong emphasis.
Yes,
Syllable.
emphasis.
Yeah. I mean, that's dumb as poop. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. And it tells you that, you know what, all those lawyer jokes you make, they're warranted because the fact that a lawyer would write that complaint and file it, unless it was for a joke, it's just, come on. And you're not going to use your real name? John Doe?
Mel Kiper.
Coward.
Isn't that the kind of stuff that gets you disbarred if you submit something like that?
Nah, I mean, it's no, you got to be like really unethical, like stealing a client's money to get disbarred these days.
Okay.
But
is there any possibility there's a settlement involved?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I'm like, what if this guy gets like $30,000?
No.
If anything, the NFL might make it harder for him.
Yeah.
In his life.
Lawyer up, man.
Just all right, cool. I mean, we're worth billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Good luck, buddy.
No, this one is you send a letter because anything you file must be filed in good faith, and you send it to the lawyer. You're violating this, and we're going to seek fees against you and your client for filing a frivolous lawsuit, and then he'll dismiss it, and he got his 15 minutes of fame. That's really all that's going to happen. Or he's going to, I mean, this is one of those times where I'm like, NFL, evil empire, you know, Lord Sith Palpatine, Roger Goodell, get him, sick him.
Ollie, what's your Freak Out Friday?
Man, just really general. I mean, I don't know if I've ever enjoyed the NBA playoffs more than I have this year. And I know the Lakers are out of it, and we're very disappointed by that, Justin. But I know Saul's not. But every game has been so incredible. And the comebacks, I mean, even like the Denver-Oklahoma City game 2, when Oklahoma City was up 30 in the third quarter, I'm like, not crazy. Denver comes back and wins this based on what's happened in these playoffs. And I gave you guys a stat on Monday or Wednesday that I'm going to say in front of Saul. In the last 25 years, teams are 3 and 1,641 when trailing by 7 points or more with less than a minute to go. Now they're 3. I told you 3. 2 of those games were the Cleveland Cavaliers in game 1. Indiana Pacers in game 1 and 2 against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
It's insane.
And who's the other one?
I don't know.
The Indiana Pacers against the New York Knicks.
Nice.
With Reggie Miller in 1994.
Oh, man.
8 points in 8.9 seconds.
Yep.
When you look at Spike Lee.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, I don't know. Like, we're talking tonight. I know you think Oklahoma City is going to blow the doors off Denver tonight, and it's 5.5, and I'm really kind of leaning towards giving the points. But crazy to think that Jokic could go for another 42 and 22, and maybe Jamal Murray makes some shots, and they make somebody else other than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander score for Oklahoma City.
In the words of Charles Barkley, God himself couldn't save the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
So,
And then, you got what's the other one? Indiana, Cleveland, right? And
Yeah.
Cleveland, the number 1 overall seed in the Hall of the NBA, down 0-2 to Indiana. Crazy to think that being down 0-2, both Cleveland and Boston wins in 7. Not crazy. Not
it's
crazy.
Not crazy.
No.
I just don't see it happening.
But the way like the Knicks have come back in those first 2 games in the Garden, and the way Indiana has come back against Cleveland and win those games, and the first game Oklahoma City and Denver. I mean, it's just all the games. It's just, I think this is the best case scenario for the NBA, and not just because of how competitive and how crazy these games are, but we're seeing the transition maybe to the next generation of superstars and being faces of the league for the NBA, because LeBron is gone.
Yeah.
Lakers are done. Steph hurt his hamstring. I don't even know if he's going to come back before game 5.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, SGA, I know Ant hasn't had a good 2 first games, but he's showed in the Lakers series. You got Halliburton. I mean, it's just Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
These young superstars, is the mantle being passed.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm freaking out about.
Well, and honestly, it's cool to see, these players that have been considered overrated have their big playoff moment, like Tyrese Halliburton.
Who says? I mean, I know that's.
I mean, the anonymous survey, like his colleagues, his peers, are calling him the most overrated player in the NBA, and I think it's because he's this like super smiley, kind of corny guy, who is uber positive and almost to the point where it's almost like kind of counterfeit. Like I could see like how he kind of gives off that corny vibe, but he's also a pretty good player.
I didn't realize he talked so much smack to the other team. Like, he's not like Gobert hated, but other guys, like, he really rubs them the wrong way.
Yeah.
I don't think he's overrated. I think he just kind of, like Saul was talking about with Gilbert Arenas, I think he's one of those guys who just picks at the other team and just talking the whole time. And I always thought he was kind of reserved and just a real nice guy, but he's kind of an ass, and I love it. Yeah.
All right, should be a fun NBA playoff series.
I guess we know where you got it from, right? His dad.
Who's watching from an Applebee's somewhere. That's our guy, Saul Bookman from AllCity Network, and also PHNX. Saul, thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it, man.
Of course,
Go check him out at gophnx.com and also YouTube.
Come back.
I'm here all the time. So
all right.
Hour number 2 up next.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy him some Alort.
Welcome to hour number 2 of Spears and Ali, presented by Tucson Federal Credit Union, the Volpe team at Nova Home Loans, and Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. If you want to join the show, hit us up at 719-1490, 719-1490.
Justin, thanks for lending Andrew and I your lighters in your pocket that you always carry around, so that we got an encore from Saul Bookman.
Heck yeah, man.
Once again, just as in life, Justin was premature.
Yeah.
So, he let me go too fast. I'm still here for another segment.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, so we
just kidding, Justin.
Is this your worst nightmare, dude? It's like me and Saul.
Man.
Yeah.
And I'm recording it all.
And it's on YouTube, it's on video, it's on the live airwaves.
Like, I knew this was gonna happen. I was killing myself. Why am I doing this? Why? I said it was going to be fine. I just knew.
That's why he was so hesitant to commit when I asked. I was like, well, okay, well, that's fine.
And I'm not fat. I'm big bone. Okay? Stop with those jokes.
I was afraid to wear the Crocs too, but I was like, also, I'm golfing with Saul after this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, these are my Crocs. These are my pre-golf shoes. So I can pull the Ashton Ginty and wear Crocs to work. So that's acceptable. Right?
No.
I didn't even know you were wearing Crocs.
No?
They're like
show the Crocs.
They're like gang Crocs too.
Heck yeah.
Don't go there. He calls them
my thug Crocs, my Crip Crocs.
They look like you got them from Snoop.
You
look like you got them from Snoop.
I got a hole in my sock too.
I wasn't gonna call you out on that, but
damn.
You know what?
No,
Snoop,
on my heel.
You know what Snoop said about guys that wear Crocs? Clowns. He's like, Ali, being a clown's a full-time job. So if you're going to do it, put your full effort into it. Don't do anything else. You can't do Arizona Daily Star, Spears and Ali. Just be the clown you are. Just be a clown.
Hey, but Ashton GT can wear them to the draft, and that's okay.
They had diamonds.
Dog.
They were $10,000
Put
Crocs.
yourself in the same category as Ashton
Ginty. Yeah. like you and Ralph Sampson have something in common too, right? You both like chicken fillet. I don't know.
Chicken fillet.
Chicken
Yeah,
fillet.
I don't know.
Ask him how to say Chipotle.
Chipotle.
He's a Chipotle guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I love having you guys
in
in my life and also in the studio and on this show. All right, so we're gonna talk some Tucson Sugar Skulls later on with Krystal Pino. She's joining us in studio. We're also gonna have Arizona baseball head coach Chip Hale on the show at 8:40. Talk about the big series coming up for the Wildcats. But I just saw this push alert from Bleacher Report, and apparently Bill Belichick's girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, has reportedly been banned from North Carolina's football facility. This is in a report by the great Pablo Torre, and Pablo Torre says there is deep worry for how detrimental Jordan can be for not just North Carolina, but Bill's legacy, reputation, everything he has built and worked for over decades. North Carolina saw the CBS interview, and I'm sure they did some more investigating, and they realized
it goes deeper than that. I mean, an interview or walking around and even being like a little bit abrasive, that doesn't get you kicked out of the football facility off the campus. I mean, it's got to be really bad.
Yeah.
Right. I thought, you sports reporters, you over dramatize things, and it's like you're trying to do storylines, and then the headline doesn't match the actual story because, speaking of clowns, you're just trying to get clicks. Not you, Justin. But
thank you.
And so I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, you know what? Maybe they had this conversation before the interview that they weren't going to get in the relationship, and the reporter, which reporters are prone to do, violated that trust. Okay, maybe there's some things that we don't know. You got banned from UNC football facility. I mean, what was she going to hang out in the modern languages building? She's basically banned from the campus.
Well, I mean, she's going to fit in. She's 24.
Yeah.
She'll fit in just fine on campus somewhere.
So it's got to be really, really bad.
Yeah, it's got to be awful.
Yeah.
It's got to be awful.
And listen, I always knew that, I mean, it was just weird just because he's, 73 years old. She's 24. I mean, just that big of an age gap. It's like, what do you even talk about? And then,
I mean, love is love, buddy.
I understand that.
Cher asked you, do you believe in love? And obviously you do not.
Yeah. And she's got a significantly younger significant other. But anyways,
yeah.
So, and they've been very public with their relationship, right? And CBS, even though they want to talk about your book and everything, like, of course they're going to ask about this relationship that you're in because everyone has been talking about it, in addition to you taking on a college coaching job. And it'll be one thing if Bill Belichick and his girlfriend were just very private and you would only see them at public events, right?
Right.
But the fact that they're like posting on social media, she's got control of his Instagram account. They're very public with their relationship.
She is.
And now you got Bill Belichick doing, pictures where he's wearing a fisherman's outfit and she's a mermaid, and they're doing these yoga stretches together on the beach. They're very public. And then CBS asks you, hey, how did you guys meet? Tell us about the story of you two lovebirds. And she interrupts and says, we're not going to talk about that. And just storms out and makes a big fuss about it. It's like, you guys have been together for about a year and you've been very public about it. Don't you think at some point people are going to ask you about how you met? Even if it's not the truth, have a reason.
Generic story.
Have a generic story.
Yeah. Did you not understand the assignment here?
Yeah.
Come on.
I was a chaperone for San Dimas High School prom. We saw each other from across the room.
I went to an assisted living facility and I saw Bill, and we just connected.
We're all buddies here, right? And Saul, I wanted to put this in perspective. So I'm 54. If I date somebody at 72, her age, my future, the love of my life, is 6 and about to go into first grade. So first of all, you guys are all entitled to beat the hell out of me. But if it's like this particular situation, you guys are, not only can you beat me, you can take me to a isolated place where no one else knows and lock me up until I come to my senses. Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say that if I was in that situation, they're not even born yet.
Yeah.
which is even worse.
That's crazy, man.
That's crazy.
Absolutely nuts.
Listen,
If it's Justin, her mom is in high school right now.
Oh,
That's insane, man. Absolutely insane.
so like, listen, like the age gap is crazy, right? I don't subscribe to that at all, because that's just too much. Like, yeah, to me, it's always been like, I think it was like maybe 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, whatever. Like, there's a little bit of play there, but like once you get past the like 25-year mark, I'm like, what do you guys even talk about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what is there? There's no connection.
Yeah.
It's all like, obviously from his end, it's probably all physical and looks and stuff like that. From her end,
there's a cape somewhere.
How am I going to get this? How am I going to get this kickback when he passes on? That's all it is.
Yeah. Well,
like,
and
I thought I saw a clip though that they were really discussing how excited they were for the new Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
What's a
like,
Minecraft?
the thing that takes us to a whole nother level is that we're talking about Bill Belichick, one of the most closed-doored guys in NFL history. He won't even talk about a game. He's on to Cincinnati. You know what I mean? Like, so the fact that he would put himself open, make himself open like this is
he's
crazy.
got people around. I mean, Mike Lombardi is his GM in North Carolina, longtime football guy. I mean, you think that any of those guys, he's got coaches that have coached with him for years on that staff. Are they just afraid to bring it up? Or do you think some of those guys are like, Bill, like,
does she have a friend?
Let's have a
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
That's right. That's exactly where my head went.
Yeah. I really would like to talk to her mom. It's more appropriate.
But I mean, she's capitalized on it. I mean, she's gotten money from him for like real estate investments, and now she's made millions of dollars herself. $9 million. So even if
she's got $9 million of real estate holdings.
So
since she's been dating Bill Belichick.
And so that's kind of her little egg that she's sitting on. So if Bill's like, yeah, I can't do this anymore, she's got that going.
You know what I just was really worried is there's a clip you see her at the UNC spring game. She's like dressed to the nines, the shorts with the boots and the jacket, and she's stomping around and she's directing like the director of football operations and this person and that person and kind of choreographing what things should be happening. And I'm like, uh-oh. You're not on staff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're on the Belichick staff, which is one job apparently. I don't know, man. I feel bad for Bill Belichick in a way, because like you said, he's arguably the greatest coach in NFL history. He's got the hardware to back it up. And now we're not talking about, oh, look at this great story. He's going to a UNC. Can he build this kind of pro-like program at UNC and make them a power? No, we're talking about his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Who got banned.
And this North Carolina job means a lot to him because he had family members who played football at the University of North Carolina, and they have ties there. So he felt like, okay, my late father, who has connections to UNC, I'm kind of fulfilling his dream in this moment. And we're not talking about it. We're talking about his controlling, egotistical 24-year-old girlfriend.
The killer part is like, we can all relate to this. Like, we've all had a friend who has dated somebody that we've absolutely hated.
Yeah. And
you're like, bro, she is toxic. She's bad. Get away from her. Like, cut her loose. But, and it's just a train wreck that you got to just watch happen. And unfortunately for Bill, like, I don't think this is going to end up very well for him.
I've done that. And then you get to the wedding ceremony and the rehearsal dinner, and then all the friends and the family, they start bitching. I'm like, no. You had your chance. I was the only one saying anything. You can't say it now, right? Because that sucks. But when I needed you, you weren't there. So if they get married, Mike Lombardi's like, no. Offensive coordinator. I was telling Bill, and now, hey, it is what it is. Wish him the best and shut the hell up.
So don't say anything, Josh McDaniels.
That's right. What are the chances? Give me a percentage. Bill Belichick never coaches a game at North Carolina.
Ooh. Whoa. I'm going to say 30%.
He never coaches.
Never.
Yeah.
He doesn't even make it to the season.
Yeah.
I'll say, 20, 15%. I think he gets through the season. He's like, I'm already in there. Let me at least get through one season, see how it feels, and then maybe if I don't like it, I could pass the baton off to my son or whoever.
Justin, his superiors who hired him have banned his girlfriend from being around anything to do with the football program. You think she can be on the sidelines at the games? No. You think she thought she was going to be? Yep. What are the chances Bill Belichick's like kind of become stubborn and be like, you know what? You're going to do that? I'm not coaching.
When you say get through one season, see how it feels, were you talking about the girlfriend or are you talking about the season? The season?
Yes. Well, I was talking about getting through the football season and see if he likes coaching college football. I mean, he seems to get a lot of energy when talking to recruits.
Yeah.
Like the recruits have said, like, I mean, we've had full-on conversations with Bill. It never felt like he was big-timing me, or it never felt like there was this certain aura to him. Like, of course, it's a living legend right here, but Bill was very personable. He seemed to really enjoy the recruiting side of it. I don't know if that's going to wear down on him, because at the college level, dude, you're constantly recruiting. And at his age, like, it's cool that he's got his second wind right now, but how long is that going to last? So that's why I'm like, I think he's going to maybe get through the year, see how he feels, and then reevaluate. But
we know that relationship's in trouble when his subscription to Hims is canceled.
True.
That's the sign I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Is Hims a sponsor of yours?
No, but hey, come on in.
I was going to say Row.co.
Row, yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think like if you're doing a betting,
Blue Chew stock has gone down.
minus 330, he never coaches a game, right? If you bet $330, you'd win 100. What are the chances that he breaks up with her before the season starts?
Ooh, man, that's so hard to predict.
Quietly though, will he do it? Just cut her loose, and then
she do it quietly.
Oh no, she wouldn't.
Yeah.
She'd be on every podcast. She'd be on.
She would talk all types of crap about it.
She'd be on The View. She'd be on other podcasts. I don't know, like
Joe Rogan.
She'll go on Rogan for
She'll go
sure.
on Rogan and just talk about, you know, the subtle details of Bill Belichick that we all don't want to know.
Yeah,
man, when you're at that stature, if he doesn't have a good lawyer, it's like we're gonna have an NDA, confidentiality.
Oh,
yeah. Especially if you're helping her amass this real estate fortune.
Yeah.
No, you talk about that, I get all of it back.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad for Bill Belichick because, again, 6-time Super Bowl award winner, the greatest NFL head coach of all time, and this is definitely puts a little stain on it. But I'm happy that North Carolina is stepping in and being like, yeah, we can't deal with this anymore.
Listen, I think when you get to that point, and I hope we all get to that point where we're in our 70s and, you know, and we're millionaires, you know, like,
That'd be nice.
I just don't think that those problems hit the same way for him as they do for us. I feel like he's pretty good at, compartmentalizing everything. And so he's probably like, this is too much drama to even worry about. So I'm just focused on football. And then when I get home, I'll deal with that kind of thing. So I don't think he probably doesn't even care as much as anybody else does.
I was gonna say, because do you think she's gonna like give him an ultimatum, like it's one or the other? It's either our relationship or
no,
because
that's the money bag.
Yeah. So like he's gonna
Not impossible.
he's gonna follow the. What if he chooses the relationship and then like, man, Tom Brady was dating a model and chose the game over her.
I mean, she was the one that demanded to be in that Dunkin' Donuts commercial at the Super Bowl. Like, she's in it.
Wow.
And there's a big story about that. She was really making a scene that she has to be in that. She's standing behind Ben Affleck and his brother Casey. I don't know, man. It's a story that's nonsensical, and I really don't care at the end of the day, but interesting nonetheless. And, see what happens.
It's our guy Saul Bookman from AllCity Network and also PHNX.
Officially.
What's that?
Officially.
Yeah,
I'm officially gone now.
You're officially gone?
Yeah,
okay. Also, congratulations. Now a Blue Blazer with the Arizona Bowl, the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl.
Appreciate that, yeah.
They spent the day with Snoop Dogg's dad at the Arizona Bowl.
Yeah, Papa Snoop. He was cool. It was cool.
How was it last year being a part of the bowl game for the first time?
It was awesome. It was a little difficult because I was in Phoenix, and I wanted to get involved as many things as I could, but with time commitments and stuff like that, it was a little difficult to do as much as I wanted to. But I was happy I was able to contribute in some small way. And listen, I mean, they have so many tremendous people over there at the Arizona Bowl that do such great work. Outside of even just the leadership there, the groundwork that these people do on a week-to-week basis in the community is just second to none. And so to be even associated with an organization like that is just an honor. And to get a blue blazer is pretty damn cool.
Hell yeah, man.
Spreading the word in Phoenix too for us, man. Sponsors,
Trying to.
tickets. Yeah, you are. So
yeah,
I'm going to be on a podcast with Saul. I'm going to check that off my bucket list.
Hell yeah.
It doesn't just me and Saul. No offense.
No, me? Oh,
listen,
You're already on with everybody else, man.
Yeah.
listen, the Ollie and Saul show will go seriously hard.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys can rib on me for an hour.
What if we don't talk about you? Is that going to hurt?
Oh,
your
that's
feelings?
going to hurt my feelings even more, man. Are you kidding me? All right.
I already know this. The name of our show, Saul.
Oh, what is it?
Could be canceled.
So I would do that if I knew like I had no other career aspirations.
Yeah.
Because like that's honestly, let's be real. Like we try to keep it as real as possible, but we have to toe a line and we can't cross it. But there are so many things that you just know we talk about off air that I'm like, man, I wish I could talk about this right now because I piss a lot of people off.
You and me both, man.
I'm not going to have
You
a
and me both.
24-year-old girlfriend, but there will be an age where I go full Larry David. I give no sugar, honey, iced tea. I'm going to say exactly what's on my mind,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And not just make innuendos. I'm going to make a yendo. It's
Yendo.
going to be direct.
Saul, thanks for stopping by, man. We appreciate it,
you
man.
guys.
All right, stay tuned. We got Krystal Pino joining us in studio to talk about the Tucson Sugar Skulls. Stay tuned. All right, we got another in-studio guest, Krystal Pino from the Tucson Sugar Skulls and also the Arizona Rattlers, joining us in studio. What's up, Krystal?
Good morning. What's going on, guys?
Good morning to you.
Yeah.
Well, before we talk about the Sugar Skulls game against the Rattlers, so you're a Denver girl.
Yes.
You're from Colorado.
Yes.
And so you're a diehard Denver Nuggets fan. And
Diehard all Colorado fans.
Everything.
But now it's finally we have a team. I mean, besides Broncos, but finally with the Nuggets, like we treat this as if this is the first time because I mean, obviously we got the championship, but like we never made it past usually that first round. Never.
Yeah.
And so for us to get to the second round and then the Lakers are already out, which has always been like the thorn in our side. It's an exciting time to be a Nuggets fan, except after that.
Krystal, as a Lakers fan, I don't know if we've been a thorn in the Nuggets side for a decade, buddy.
True story.
Yeah.
Since J.R. Smith and Carmelo Anthony were playing.
Yeah.
That was the last time the Lakers were a thorn. But the Nuggets, I got to give it up to them because Nikola Jokic is such a great player. I think he has emerged himself as, man, maybe a top 5 big man of all time already.
Sure.
At this point. And then you have Aaron Gordon, who's killing it right now. And Jamal Murray, from time to time, he steps up and has this big game. So I think there's something still there.
I do too.
I think that even though OKC is the number 1 seed and they're so dominant, they showed it, I still like Denver's chances in a 7-game series.
And I genuinely think this is what playoffs is all about, those magical moments, right? Yeah, we got blown out. But then we come back. We're in the Mile High City. I was just talking about it with you guys off the mic. It's thinner air up there. They're coming from OKC, coming to that 5280, Mile High, hoping that plays a positive effect for the Nuggets, negative effect for the Thunder. But in reality, they showed that they're a number 1 seed, and it almost looked like they were just unbeatable. I mean, I'm watching the Nuggets play, and they looked like a JV squad out there. It was super embarrassing. And to be real, we had the lead once, 2-0, and then never saw the lead again. So for me, everybody has to step up from Russell Westbrook. He has to step in and have those magical moments. Gordon is just on fire. And I don't know if he's playing with that grit of losing his brother and just this momentum of like, I can't be stopped. But we need those magical moments from him and then Jokic, right? We need those threes that are the half-court threes that he just takes and makes. And that's what
if you're a dude that loves sports, you know what you call Krystal Pino?
What?
Keeper.
A keeper?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, just sitting on the couch and we're just having this conversation about the rotation on defense of the Nuggets. Krystal,
I love it.
I don't know. I think a lot of guys out there listening are very attracted to you.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm and because of that, I am that girl. It was like no choice for me growing up. I had brothers. It was like, you either know what we're talking about or like, get out, leave us alone. And so I had to keep up. Now, granted, I don't know the amount of like sports history probably like you guys do, but I try to keep up, especially with my teams. And for me, it's been so exciting to watch the Nuggets. How could you not?
Yeah.
I mean, really, this year has just been such a fun year for us. And I don't care what anybody says. Nikola Jokic, Joker, literally makes, I mean, think about his press conferences too. He's the most unserious, unbothered guy.
Yeah.
And then on the court, he's just a monster, a beast. Like, it's just so much fun to watch.
Well, like, look at the difference, like, between the Celtics last year when they won the championship and Jason Tatum's like, we did it, trying to copy all the other superstars that have won championships. And then Jokic is like, okay, job is done.
Yeah.
We can go home now.
My brother
my
was
horses.
at the parade, and he's like, I will never forget the moment when Jokic was like, you know what I said about not wanting to be at the parade? He goes, Krystal, chills, because that entire courtyard of people just erupted because they could feel his like joy, his excitement, his love. So for us, Nuggets are what we have right now. Rockies, obviously, just don't.
Let's not mention the Rockies.
I just got to go home a couple weekends ago. You don't go to Coors Field for baseball. You go for the vibes, the views, and maybe an occasional foul ball. Outside of that, I was watching the game, and it was really, truly depressing. It was like, man, we're really not going to score this game, huh? Like, all right, guys. Well, I got a Dinger lunch bag.
Yeah. Is that
that's the
dinosaur mascot?
Yes.
Oh man,
Dinger the mascot. So yeah, we're right now we're holding on to those nuggies like that's all we've got because really it kind of is. So
Broncos are going to be good this year.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so too. We had a lot of momentum last season, made the few changes that I think we needed to make in reality, and I feel like our coach now feels comfortable.
Yeah,
I feel like he's now.
He got rid of the cornball, Russell Wilson.
Oh my goodness. I feel so bad though. I have a Russell Wilson jersey. I got it when he got.
Hey, don't worry. I have a Lonzo Ball Lakers jersey.
No, what?
Alonzo Ball Lakers jersey.
Sir, excuse me. You spent money on that?
So it was a gift.
Okay.
It was gifted to me from my brother who got it on discount because Lonzo Ball was no longer on the Lakers.
Oh.
So I just have a Lonzo Ball jersey hanging up in my.
Nothing
my
says
closet.
love when you buy a relative a jersey of a player that's no longer on your favorite team.
You got it for like $30.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, here you go.
Oh my gosh. You could just say the ball means something else. It's totally irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yes, I get it. Yeah.
But hold on. Before we talk about the game coming up here on Saturday between the Tucson Sugar Skulls and Massachusetts Pirates, the game on Saturday this past weekend against the Arizona Rattlers, that was electric. And I was worried because, I was there working and covering the game for the Star. And as soon as I saw the Rattlers score and then the Sugar Skulls fumble inside the 5-yard line, the Rattlers get the ball and score again and go up 14-0. I'm like, oh no, this is going to be an ass whooping.
Yep.
And the Sugar Skulls showed a lot of what Dan Campbell calls a lot of grit, man.
Mm-hmm.
They showed a lot of grit, and the defense made some stops down the stretch,
yes.
and it gave the offense the opportunity to capitalize. They didn't lead the entire game until that go-ahead field goal, which I think is awesome. But to beat the undefeated Rattlers, the defending IFL champion, I thought that team showed something, and this could be a turning point.
And the Rattlers have really shown to be pretty unstoppable this season. Like our first game against them was kind of like, put your head down. Just, all right, have a great day. We'll see you guys next time. Whatever. Yeah. This last game, though, you nailed it. Our players literally showed what it meant to, I want this more. Yeah. This is my house. You're not going to beat us in our house. And they definitely came through. The kicker, I mean, Macias, he
Kevin Macias.
He literally is one of those guys that we have been chomping at the bits for. Do you remember last season?
Yeah. I was like, how come all these other teams got this fat kicker that can kick it really good, and we got this guy that's like 120 pounds that can't make it? I want a fat kicker.
That's an all-time Spears and Ali quote.
Yeah.
Fat kicker is money.
Fat kicker is money.
You have said that.
But Macias is money, and he's not fat, so I'll take it. Maybe a little chunky, but he's making field goals. I don't care.
I don't care either. Like literally that's what we need. We need those extra points that put us closer and closer, because what I don't think for anybody who's never been to an IFL game, at any point that scoreboard can flip at any point. I mean, I remember last game, there were a couple games we were down by 20 points and I was like, oh, bummer. All right, boom. Within 7 minutes, we're back on top by 14 and we've got the ball. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's what's the excitement about the IFL with all the different scoring opportunities and that smaller field. You really never know until that end whistle blows. And that last game, you said it was so electrifying. And I don't know if Tucsonans know how much you played into that. Like the Boneyard was nuts.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great.
And there were a lot of Rattlers fans there. There were I mean, we had some in suites. We had some right by where the players were. They were definitely showing up to be intimidating, and the Boneyard wasn't having it. Our fans were literally that extra step across the line. I mean, we were just talking about it. We got that field goal, right? At that point, we were ahead. And then we got that touchdown. And I swear you could hear us from Congress. Like that whole arena was just erupting. And then, of course, I work for both teams. So I'm like, yeah, oh, good. Okay, all right. Woo! Like, oh my gosh. Secretly, I'm fighting for my Tucson Sugar Skulls. I love the Rattlers. I love working for them too. But for me, I want to see the Skulls go so far. I would love to see the Skulls bring an IFL championship here to Tucson because Tucsonans deserve that. You say it the best all the time, Ali. This is a sports town. Like, that's the way we do it. Bringing those championships, you can't deny hardware, right?
No.
Damn straight. All right, we're talking Tucson Sugar Skulls with Krystal Pino right here on Spears and Ali. Stay tuned. All right, Spears and Ali back on ESPN Tucson, 1490 AM, and the Spears and Ali podcast. We have Krystal Pino from the Tucson Sugar Skulls and the Arizona Rattlers joining us in studio. So the game on Saturday, did it feel like you were watching your two kids play against each other?
Yes. It was like, stop pulling your sister's hair. Put that down. Don't put that in your mouth. Yeah, no, it totally was like watching these two teams that you know these young men so well.
Yeah.
And I think me and Yaz both, like, we're on the sidelines and some of the Rattlers players will come up to us and give us dabs. And we're like, hey, come on, hands. You know, because a lot of people don't know that we work for both teams. They don't get that. So they look at it as like, what are they doing? But like I said, no hate against the Rattlers at all. We do have a little bit more love for our Sugar Skulls here. You know, we consider them somewhat of the underdog. They always get called the little brother of the Rattlers. But for us, we see so much pride in what this team brings to this city and what it really can bring to this city that we try to lift it as much as we can. So.
And what do you think about the game coming up here on Saturday?
Well, first, let me say, happy Mother's Day. I wore a motherhood
Yes,
shirt to honor it. So this is our Mother's Day Ladies Night game. So super excited. This is a great day. Girls Night out. Come on, bring all you ladies out. Or if you want to bring your wife, the kids, the family, you carry the diaper bag. You do all the things. Let her have a fistful of margaritas.
Yeah, you're the designated driver.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah. So first 1,000 women, 15 and up, will get a super clear Sugar Skulls tote bag. So we're trying to take care of
cool.
and they're cool. Me and Yas saw them and we're like, these are awesome. They're perfect for little traveling totes that you would take. But this game, we're excited because we're riding off that momentum from the Rattlers. We're hoping to get this win against that East Coast team, hoping maybe this jet lag will affect them a little bit. It should be a great game. I think for our team, they're coming off of this adrenaline rush by beating that 4-0 team. So for us, it just needs to stick with it. We watched some practices this week. Reyna looks great. Super excited to have him on the team. What a big confidence booster he's been for the Sugar Skulls. He's a leader off the field, and we see it with the players. So for us, it's as long as he's firing, I think we're gonna be great.
Who's the player that you've connected with the most?
Oh goodness. Well, the one that comes around us the most is probably Sap Lynch, which is Vontae.
Andrew calls him mini mode because he's a
Yes.
smaller version of beast mode.
He really is. But if you talk to him, he'll say, no, beast mode's a version of me, right? Like that's what we love about him. Yeah. He told Yaz the other day, he's like, no. Marshawn Lynch is my brother.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's my brother.
That's awesome.
But he's the one that we like. He comes around a lot. We get to chat with him a lot. In reality, when we're going to them, we're coming for content. So they're like, oh my gosh, no, I don't want to be on camera today. So they know when they see me and Yaz, it's usually to record something or whatnot. But we have a great group of guys. I mean, I'm really excited for this team, especially with the national championship being here. I think that's an extra boost of maybe we can get this, hometown feel for it. But I'm excited. Should be a good season.
Sap Lynch, by the way, when I said, hey, you scored a touchdown last year, I got Skittles for you. He's like, no, Starburst.
Oh, he's a Starburst
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, we're going to do that again. So tell him I'm going to have some Starburst for him when he scores a touchdown.
I love it. Yeah, we need him too. We need him to be big these games too. Isn't it funny what the little quirks athletes are? And not to make this about me, but my daughters are wrestlers. Daughters are the same thing. For their matches, they need that one particular thing, and it's gummy bears. Every single because after a match, they're kind of gassed. They'll pop a handful in their mouth, and boom, they're right back up to being their little chipper, hyper selves. So
It's like me after a radio show.
What a coincidence, Justin. You and gummy bears? He would just like take a shot of vodka and then put a handful of gummy bears in his mouth,
You're
and that
doing
was
it
his
wrong,
college.
my dude.
Yeah.
Drop the gummy bears in the vodka. Let them marinate.
Soak up a
then
little bit.
eat the gummy bears.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Amateur hour.
More importantly, Krystal, you kind of touched on it. Happy Mother's Day to
Thank you. Thank you. I have 3 amazing daughters.
They're badass wrestlers.
Yes. Yeah. My 2 younger ones. So my 14-year-old, she got invited to join the Arizona Girls 14U duels team in Indiana. So she will be going towards the end of June to wrestle for the Arizona Girls duels team.
Awesome.
Which is a huge accomplishment.
That's amazing.
Our goal is All-Americans. And then obviously once we get to high school, the grind doesn't stop. We want state champs. But, you know, to win like a champ, you got to train like a champ.
Well, you are a champion, Krystal.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to you.
Happy Mother's Day, Valerie.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We didn't do a very good job of celebrating Mother's Day today.
It's because you need a mom to remind you.
Yeah.
Yes. Mother's the gift to the world, man.
As mama's boys, we did a terrible job. But we have a video out there talking about bring your mom, bring your girlfriend, bring your significant other, bring your baby mama, sugar skulls.